And here we go, upper right-hand side. Best human in the world from Korea is Chaemiko. And at the bottom left-hand side, the WGL Summer Champion, opening with a Keeper of the Grove, of course, is Colorful. And I wonder if Colorful is going for this mass Huntress build that we've seen so often here on Concealed Hill. If the human tries to expand, mass Huntress and Keeper oftentimes crushes that attempt. But Chaemiko was the only human player that I've seen so far who was able to defeat that by pulling back all the militia, keeping them safe here in the northern side of the map. And I wonder if he can do it again.
His crisis management is one of those things that you won't see in action necessarily all that often because, you know, games only so often get that chaotic, but it's actually really, really good, I think. Chaemiko, he did like some fancy move with the rewalling off as well sometimes when he was being harassed by treants and stuff like that. And yeah, this map is a lot about how well can you set up the expansion. The Wisp actually... Did it get the water? I think it did. And Chaemiko, if he had scouted like a very greedy creep route, or for example, Colorful going for the expansion creep up next, he would just run to the expo immediately. But now he has an opportunity to do the turtles first. But I think he's gonna do that where he goes to the expo immediately because he sees the Keeper wasting time killing the footman, which tells him that Colorful probably wants to creep after killing that footy. So he's like, okay, I have enough time to creep the expo before you can even get there. So he goes for that next.
All right, I was wondering if Chaemiko maybe stays on one base. He did that as well recently on this very map. But he has, as you said, he has a lot of time. He can creep that seemingly with ease and...
One base.
He is,
Have you not watched this great movie by 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yeah.
Biopic of his life.
I heard about that, but I guess Chaemiko died a lot of times trying and then figured out, hey, I need a backup plan. But doesn't need that here so far because Colorful is really passive.
And maybe he had a few mishaps but still recovered, much like 50 Cent, who got shot multiple times and came out of it with a brand new set of teeth.
You do have a little bit of an obsession with 50 Cent and human matchups, don't you?
Well, I mean, it's just the same thing, right? Both want to get rich or die trying.
Yeah. Okay. Got a Mantle of Intelligence here for the Archmage. That's amazing. Level 3 basically for free. And this is only quote-unquote a Keeper and a couple of archers. No mass hunts, no mass pressure, no level 3. Still hard to fend off, but with level 2 water elementals, you can water the plants and kill them off. But of course, you gotta respect that entangle.
Yeah, Keeper getting level 3 is the thing you want to avoid for as long as possible here if you're Chaemiko. I'm kind of surprised he didn't sell evasion, by the way.
Not yet.
Nice extra chunk of gold. And that Arcane Tower in the main base, keeping those peasants as safe as possible. So many of them are so low, you'd almost want to dive, but the fact that there's the Arcane Tower makes it so much harder. So yeah. We're very well done.
This could be used as a bait, but I guess Colorful knows it by now, that if you go in there, there's probably going to be a farm here. You're going to be trapped. You have to go for the TP. And Chaemiko is expanding in his phase. Doesn't take too much damage on that building, but on the units. Now turning it around. A Keeper, get off of my lawn. And I guess this is a good early game for Chaemiko so far.
Yeah, he's minimized the losses, especially peasant-wise. So his lumber is not doing too bad to the point where he's going to be able to start tech very soon. But Colorful did the very safe tree near the main base. He's getting Nature's Blessing, so he can move that over very quickly. He's going to grab a Panda immediately. Ancient of War already in position on the left-hand side to creep the lab soon. And now Chaemiko is doing what he's supposed to do. He's going to keep him pressure on the elf, because he knows that whatever camp will be crept next is supposed to be a big one, and he can prevent that.
And the tech has already started. Colorful using more mana at his side of the map. He's also expanding, so it's not like he's going for an all-in or he's under a lot of pressure. Do you think you have to kill the human fast, otherwise tier 3 overwhelms you at some point. As an idol.
No, you can expand like if you can get to 80 supply and you have like a high level panda, I think that's where you're gonna thrive a lot more. It's a lot about like humans always gonna be able to expand first. It's all about setting up your expo, defending it really well, and not dying to the big push that you know is gonna be there a lot of the time here, basically.
Since the first experience for the panda, yeah, it was really close to expiring. Chaemiko now finds a little opening. There's no wisps nearby. He has to call them. And that is quite expensive. Double entangle on the water elementals. Wants to save on the wisps to get the lumber in. Turtles are helping out a bit as well. But most importantly for Colorful, the lore is still intact. Can't get the last hit. That's level 3. And the tree is already across the water. But it's only now level 3. It's a 7-minute level 3 for Colorful.
It's a very tough camp to creep. I like what he's doing. He's trying to chase this army away first and foremost. He should get rid of some of these footies, to spam those entangles, and only then should he go for the expo. But that's still achieving a delay on the expansion here by Chaemiko's aggression through doing this. And then once he's tier 2, he can go for double sanctum. Usually Chaemiko very often does the double sanctum one workshop. The big question is going to be what second hero does he want to go for here? We've seen Panda out of him quite a bit, but Blood Mage second is also extremely strong.
Yeah, against the Panda, would love to see a Blood Mage. Just such a flashy hero. For viewers, probably the best. But Panda also very hot matchup for sure. So maybe time to kill some peasants now. Didn't disable defend for a little bit. Goes back and forth, back and forth. A little bit more necessary hits. Or a little more hits than necessary. Dryads are coming in, but man, Chaemiko also stabilizing. Blacksmith finishes. We take a look at the altar. There's nothing happening yet. But I guess he just arrived. Could go to the tavern, goes to the tavern, picks the panda, and builds more units. It is the double sanctum play that we expected.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, Chaemiko is so good at those timings as well. Like usually here he gets to choose whether he wants to be aggressive with Panda level 1 or Crypt level 3. I think he's calculating this really well in that he knows that the expansion is already going to be crept entirely and he can't do much if he goes across the map. So instead he's creeping his Panda, trying to get level 2 from that lab. But look at the Keeper. He's bothering this so much. You're finding some snipes on footies. Actually, that's Rock Golem denied that one. But one more entangle will be used. And now the Panda is starting to head across the map. Might be better for Colorful to just creep his shop here to get level 3, but I think he believes he can get there when the units are going to be really low and he can kill a lot of them. And he's going to force an evacuation with a Zep.
Oh, that was great. Even this footman, okay, you don't want to get in against 4 Dryads in the Panda one. But Chaemiko saved a lot here, can always threaten drops with that Zeppelin now. You have, of course, anti-air, so you gotta go for the timings. Timings like this. Chaemiko finding a way to cancel this entangled gold mine, force Chaemiko back, and just buy more time. Was floating up to 1,000 gold just a little while ago. Now, okay, he went for the farms. He's getting ready for 70 supply and the death push.
Yeah, the attention to detail this game by Chaemiko has been quite amazing. You can see the double sanctum was made inside of his wall, so it's perfectly safe. The workshop, there was no room for it inside at the time, so he still made it in range of the Arcane Tower to kind of cover it. And look at that expansion. Wall around the peasant line, farm line in front of the town hall, because once Night Elf has 5 to 6 bears, they can really start sieging that base with Panda level 3 very nicely. So he's making sure he can prevent that, or at least slow it down when it's finally going to happen. He's on 49 out of 78, so he's already made all the farms he ever needs to get. He's going to get double upgrades from the Sanctums. That's because he wants to stay at 50 a little bit longer. And now Townpole is forced out.
But not without another kill, not without another cancelled entangled gold mine. This game is going pretty much flawless for Chaemiko, I would say. Of course, a couple of footmen went down in the early, but did you really suffer big losses since the mid-game? Not really. You see it reflected on the Panda, only close to 3. The Keeper, not level 4. But okay, the strongest moment of Colorful is yet to come, I think. When he gets these level ups, Orb is already here. But I also love the Flying Machine just for scouting purposes. It's quick to build, it's cheap to build. It gives you a lot of information that you can use against your hero, against your opponent.
Django picked up by Colorful in center as he gets Panda level 3. Usually that's the moment where you know that human might not have spent their entire bank yet. So even though you have 50 supply and they have more, you still probably want to look for a fight. And he's going to do just that. Archmage staffing back in here. Townfall might be forced in a second. You don't want to waste your scrolls now. If you're Chaemiko, and he's actually going to save everything, looks like.
Whoa.
My god.
Chaemiko is so good. Of course, this will cost a bit of regen, but it's already running. We got the Sorks in with upgrade, actually. But does he have enough? 63 supply, Panda pushing forward. The militia are coming, ready to arrest. And I don't think Colorful stands a chance here.
Yeah, I mean, the plan wasn't to take a head-on fight. I think he just wanted to try and pick off some units, which Chaemiko prevented very nicely.
Even that militia.
Does Chaemiko does he want to go for the timing now? I think he might want to wait a little more because he's still got a bunch of gold to spend, and doing the push on 80 is going to be way stronger. But he's kind of being engaged into right now, so he feels like he has to fight, which is weird by Colorful because he's completely out of mana.
Bloodthirsty Chaemiko. No tier 3. Breakers are coming. Interesting to see these early Sorks and early Adept for the Sorks as well. That's not too common.
Yeah, I think he just saw the opportunity to get it now because he wasn't really in danger of having to fight very soon. So he got both upgrades while being on 50, saved a bit of extra gold, and then went for it. Colorful, on the other hand, actually saved gold very nicely too. I think he waited until he had like 1300 gold before finally breaking with 2 extra bears. There is no wind for Fairy Dragons that's finished, but it's in the main base and it's halfway through done. So if that could actually kick in before the fight begins, that's going to be a big thing to add for Colorful. He's now trying to catch up in supply.
On the other side, Wind of Mana stealing for Chaemiko with Bear on Bear. That's of course great. 2 mortar teams will get rid of that engine of war, but Colorful is setting up a flank. The police will immediately be arrested themselves, I guess, but the Panda has a crosshair on these Oh, the dodge by Chaemiko! Beautifully done. Wonder if he can still control this while the Archmage takes a bit of damage. No Dispel on that entangle, rather uses the heal scroll. Focus fire is rough. Oh, crashes and burns. Mortar team's almost gone. The illusions on the side as well, soaking up a lot of damage. This fight, pretty chaotic. Supply-wise, still elite for Chaemiko, but the Panda is taking heavy fire. Has to transfer the town portal, but Colorful is the first one stepping out.
Yeah, there was no Dispel available, actually. Those priests were very low on mana, so the Mortals got taken out of the fight very nicely here by Colorful with some entangles. And he did well enough to the point where I don't think he lost much. I think he lost like 1 bear, he stuffed another one. Immediately behind, he uses Moonwell to replenish everything. And now that might be the shot for Colorful to make sure he makes it to Fairy Dragons before the next fight. Chaemiko taking the opportunity to go create the fountain. Colorful knows about it, but some big item potential here. True shot, maybe number 1 on that list, if he could get that.
Oh, what he got? Scourge Bone Chime's not the greatest, at least not until we have Knights, which might be coming.
Yeah.
We go for tier 3 and Chaemiko's side.
Yeah, Chaemiko, once he sees that he's guaranteed his 80 supply, he's like, okay, well, it's actually not that expensive to add the castle on top of this, even if just for frag shard, but it also gives you the opportunity to, yes, add knights, potentially a 3rd hero. We've seen that Blood Mage 3rd here can be extremely good.
Could also go for Pally if you want, but yeah, Blood Mage level 1 Siphon is already great. We have Invis again, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, the first Fairy Dragon going deep. Will he be sniped? Nope, not really. TP out immediately, it's just too much damage. Colorful, recovering well here.
He actually made a hippo first. Oh no, sorry, after the first Fairy Dragon. So he's worried about flying machines, as you should be, because you know they're going to be there, and he's countering that with hippos. And also, I guess, Breath of Fire can be really dangerous against flying machines as well. So it's going to be a lot about the pre-positioning that happens before the fights. That's going to be super important. He actually does to reveal the Panda here. Those colorful.
Yeah, I think he checked the shop and saw, hey, there's supposed to be an invul and a heal scroll. And Chaemiko is, I guess, the player in the world who plays most with invisibility. Also versus Orc in the fights, versus Night Elf, of course, as well. One of his favorite upgrades, I guess.
That's actually AKM.
Of course.
Training to send the Blood Mage in stealth.
Okay, let's say on the international pro level.
Yes, still AKM.
Okay. Dryads are jumping on the mortar teams. The other mortar teams trying to save their friends. Weird situation. Who's pushing when? And what's the hero gonna be? For Chaemiko.
Flute picked up on the other side. Not that useful because there's not a ton of ranged units, but I mean, he'll take it, I guess. He's already on 80. But Colorful needs to get a lot more upgrades here. +2 attack on the way, so it's going to be 2-1 in a second. Chaemiko's done a great job with his own upgrades. He's getting +2 attack for rifles and mortars and flying machines.
Frag Shards has begun. Inner Fire has begun. It is indeed looking great. Close to level 4 on the Brewmaster. Maybe Chaemiko and Colorful should just trade the items. Scourge Bone Gems for the Night Elf, Flute for the human.
Yeah, I think Colorful would love that.
For sure. Close to level 5 on the Keeper of the Grove. Panda pretty far away. And as we often mention, late game human Night Elf, it's so much about heal scrolls. We have the Panda, of course. We have the Fairy Dragon for AoE. We have the Mortar teams. We might get Blizzard. There's just area of effect everywhere.
Yeah, when you have a Panda on both sides and they start getting to those higher levels, very important to be able to fight that accordingly. Dryads wrecking rank here, getting inside of this army, sniping the mortar, but now they're kind of blocking one another. They're gonna die very quickly, actually. Whereas the bears, there is some great surface area for Chaemiko to perhaps use the combo. He's just gonna TP out here. He sees he's losing a lot.
He wasn't really able to deal with that Fairy Dragon, was he?
No.
Not enough damage. Weird situation for Chaemiko. There's Dryads storming on his mortar teams. There's Fairy Dragons dealing with the casters. So what do your rifles do? Or what does your anti-air do? They have to choose.
Yeah, it's really tricky on both sides to tag those fights as well as possible. And we're seeing literally the two of the best players in the world here do the best possible job of it, but it's still extremely hard. Like you saw those Dryads, they were kind of blocked when they were going in, but then eventually they were able to make it to the center. And it's tricky to make the exact right composition and make it work for Chaemiko, because how does he prevent those Dryads from doing that? Well, ideally he should have some rifles, but then rifles are pretty terrible against the front line and the bears. They're not going to help that much. So he did make 3 sorceresses, 3 priests. That's the standard. Ideally you want to have 2 or 3 mortars. He's just got the 3rd one, so he's doing really good. But he's not opting to go for a 3rd hero here quite yet.
Yeah, this is surprising to me as well. Maybe values 5/5 higher than the Blood Mage. This seems like the extended Noah's Ark with 3 of each kind. Here we go. Inner Fire Knights. We have the Dryads jumping on top of these water elementals. Gives the Keeper level 5. Good damage dealer now. Militia coming in as well. This might very well be the decision of map 1.
Yeah, great repositioning by Chaemiko. You see the way he was getting engaged into. If he had just stood there, I think Colorful would have been in a great position, but now instead he moved all the way back, sent Militia closer to his base. The Keeper is getting targeted. Breath of Fire could take him out very fast. Colorful's gonna TP on time to make sure that doesn't go down. Those Dryads took a ton of damage, and Chaemiko didn't really lose much, but funny enough, I don't think he killed a single unit, did he? Because we still have 78 for Colorful, who might, I mean, we saw Moon bank 3k and then losing a game he probably shouldn't have lost. Yep. You probably want to break up keep sooner rather than later here if you're Colorful, and there it is. He queues more Dryads.
Can he still... Oh, again, the Invisible Archmage, man. This is so good, and this is so key. Healing all the units up at the fountain, getting heal scrolls at the enemy fountain, and being ready to push. Is he ready to push? 75 supply, 1,000 gold, bowls are floating. We got flag cannons, 2nd workshop, more Dryads. But Chaemiko not brave enough to start the push, or is he?
Yeah, I think he's moving in a position where he's at least thinking about it, but since he's adding 1 more workshop, I wonder what this is for exactly. Like, does he want to pump out... He might just go for 100. I think this push out here, he has 3 scrolls. Yeah. The goal is to fight, sploosh some of the Dryads, with the mortars and TP out without losing anything.
Wonder if
But the problem is that Colorful's doing such a good job preventing that from happening.
detonates also amazing. Caster army already dry. Panda in trouble. Has an invo potion. Must use it soon. There's no paladin to heal him up. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire on the bears, of course, excellent. Can he take out units this time? Breath of Fire on the other side, but healing against it immediately. And I think once again, we separate without getting a single kill. What the hell? Both know exactly when to get out.
Yeah, Chaemiko's the one that lost the mortar here, I believe.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's a problem. Now the main's mined out. Usually on this map, if you fast expand, the expo is not gonna be too far behind. We see there's 3k left in the expo of Chaemiko, so he's working with less gold. And because he TP'd like this and invested so much into items, it's actually kind of hard for him to go to 100, right? Ideally, he'd like to even kill some of his peasants and then build the strongest 100 that he can. I think he probably should have sold Vampiric, maybe? Before going into high upkeep. There it is, he broke.
Okay.
So let's see. 2 more breakers, 1 more knight, more flying machines. Flying machines are on 2-2 upgrades, breakers are on 1-2. And he might keep the peasants because you see he doesn't have extra gold anyway, and then just send them to kind of build a front line that can tank some damage. Like if they even soak, like let's say 1 combo of Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, it's something that where your army is not the one getting hit by it.
Absolutely true. We also have an interesting dynamic in the air between hippos, gyros, fairies, and dryads, of course, on the ground, able to support. Might be a nice little choke here. Here comes a lot of gyros, but are they able to connect? The panda's in position, able to throw a Breath of Fire. Drunken Haze far in the back. There was a decent breath, but the gyros might take air superiority, but maybe not against the level 5 panda, who finds himself in this round. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire again, but it feels like the bear's not taking any damage so far. Keeper in trouble.
Yeah, you see what Chaemiko did? He moved back all of the casters outside of the range of Fairy Dragons so that those Mana Flare are not hitting them. Downpour forced again, and Chaemiko falls to 71 supply. He used this. Was he to scroll the beast or did he just steal roar? Because a lot of his things actually have roar. I guess he might have stole a lot of roar away from his opponent. And now that panda, being level 5 from Colorful, that's way scarier. Keeper getting closer to level 6.
Yeah.
He's gonna steal the scrolls again here, will Chaemiko. And I think that push has got to do it, because if he doesn't, then Night Elf still has Moonwells behind this. He could move his tree to the center. Colorful looking pretty good now with 87 supply. It's all about that fight, Neo. That's what it all comes down to.
We do have Brilliant Zora level 3. I wonder, is Blizzard the better choice when it comes to, like, you're playing against so many dryads. Oh, the Wiz! Breath of Fire takes out 6 of them, I think. That was really well done. So there might be mana on the casters now, but Water Elemental just feed the Night Elf heroes up. Keeper, as you said, close to 6. There must be a staff. There is a staff. This time, not the greatest police army in this. And the bears, they're just chewing through this, aren't they? Archmage in trouble. No more consumables on him. No more heal scrolls. Chaemiko seemingly on his last leg, or can he somehow do it?
This panda is gonna do so much work here for Colorful. Tranquility, keeping so many other bears alive, and that's it. Chaemiko was losing everything and not killing much here in that last fight. Colorful, it seemed like his start wasn't like achieving that much damage necessarily, but it was enough for him to secure his own expo and then from there know exactly what he had to do. And his ability to fight in the center of the map is what I think made him do so well.
Yeah, good game. Nice, long, drawn out 2 base versus 2 base. Colorful gets the edge in the end. Those healing fountains for Night Elf in the late game, so damn good to not just have to rely on rejuvenation and Moonwells, but also be able to use the fountains, whereas the human will always be healing usually with Regent Scroll and Priests. No Mountain Giants this time, kind of surprising. MG is normally something we see quite a bit on Concealed especially, but here just with the bears, the standard army, it worked out well. This panda level 5 in the end doing great damage. And yeah, you guys were mentioning it. Blood Mage 3rd was a possibility, but never added in. I wonder if that couldn't have been a good addition as well in this late game.
We'll give these guys, as this was such a long map, a little bit of time to re-evaluate their decisions here. Next one is Tidehunters in just 3 minutes. Can Chaemiko catch up? DreamHack Winter is commencing. We go into map 2 of quarterfinal 3. Colorful with the 1-0 lead over Chaemiko. Remo, you've been a Colorful stan for as long as I can remember. Recently on the Chaemiko hype train. So whose side are you on now?
I'm on the side of great WarCraft, and I think both have been delivering so far. They're playing a really good game. Chaemiko perhaps in the late game. Missing that bit of punch was the third hero, what he was missing. I'm not sure. When the big fight was happening also, for a while, the flying machines there were kind of idle. They took out the hippos, but didn't actually kill off the fairies in the end. Not sure if that would have made a difference. But anyways, map number 2 is going to be much better for Chaemiko. Tidehunters, very easy to fast expand on, and also great late game terrain for the big human army.
All right then, we'll see if this game is as epic as the one prior. We've seen ultimates already, but I want more. Colorful versus Chaemiko, map number 2. All right, upper left-hand side, Colorful with the 1-0 lead, bottom right, Chaemiko, as we have a little bit of a break.
Who's the bigger shopaholic between the two? Who's gonna pay a visit to the marketplace and get a brand new set of shiny new claws or circlets? I make it sound amazing, don't I? And they're not on sale, but they're still pretty damn good.
The position should be a little better for Chaemiko, maybe? Marketplace slightly more to the right.
Yeah, I don't know if I will read into that this much. I feel like, yeah, usually the timing lines up pretty well for human if you go for the standard Sea Giant Creep first, then the Expo, and then Murloc, because then you're very close to the marketplace to run there immediately. But usually the problem with that is that the Keeper will show up and start harassing your peasants, and then you need to stay on location to prevent that. I feel like Night Elves so far I haven't put that much emphasis in trying to make sure they're the ones shopping first.
Man,
usually they prefer to just get units instead.
This game would be so much easier for all of us if there wouldn't be a Keeper of the Grove harassing, right? Or units harassing in general. Just 20-minute, no rush. Just build our own units.
I mean, we could host custom games. That's word titled that, no rush 20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people will break etiquettes and then just go immediately.
I don't know, you could talk with Remo about movies in the 20 minutes and then I come in for an epic fight and then it's GG and then we go next. Sounds like a great plan to me.
But I mean, if you hosted those games, I don't know that people will respect those rules necessarily. You know, I used to be a pretty big game hunter guy on Brood War, and I played the No Rush 10 maps very often, or like even No Rush 15. I used to think my macro was so good because I would just spam workers and then spam army. And I would be like, I'm so good, I'm getting to max that army so fast, when in reality, like, I was god awful. It was just that they weren't rushing, so like, it was very easy to execute.
We have our typical heroes here, of course. Keeper on the way to level 2. Chaemiko also with the Sea Giant. First claw on the Keeper already. There you go. Shiny new pair, as you say.
Yeah, getting a lot of damage here very important. If you can get a decked out hero with like triple damage item, then you buy 1 or 2 more. Like, you're doing really well already to start with in this kind of game, because you're gonna be able to bully the basic units of the opponent. Is Footman in the main? Chaemiko! One last swipe! Oh my god. He messed it up.
Ay, ay, ay.
Swipe left instead of swiping right. Yeah.
The master of swiping should teach him once we meet. Expo coming.
That could have been the match of a lifetime.
What's your match of a lifetime?
No, the Wisp and the Footman.
Ah, yeah.
A player's forces are under attack.
We have an expansion bottom left. What?
Yeah, that's Chaemiko for you. He'll scout, and then if he gets a feeling that he can get away with this kind of creep, he does the exact same on Autumn Leaves. Like, he'll scout very carefully, and then if he sees you're far away doing a lot of creeping, he's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna take the safe expo because you're not there to harass anyway. I can get away with the greedier one. So now he does just that, gets level 3, gets the big invuln, that's a very survivable Archmage here.
For sure. On the other side, it's a very, very powerful keeper. We got a staff now on top as well. Dude, Colorful has his eyes everywhere. North at the red spot, right-hand side at the expansion, in the main. The keeper, of course, facing the Archmage now. Left-hand side at his second natural expansion. That man is a scouting monster.
He's about to have level 3, actually, from that Murloc camp. But Chaemiko is zoning him out really, really well. Chaemiko is super good with surrounds, but now if he was to log this one in, there's the staff already available and fully ready. And that's level 3 in a second here. Great creeping from Colorful.
Yeah, feels like Colorful really wants to break that 0-4 win streak. Or lose streak. Depending on your where you're looking from.
Yeah, I've seen bigger losing streaks.
Yeah, me too. 0-85, for example.
Yeah.
And,
Speaking of Sonic, he plays for UMAD, right?
yeah, Todd. How was that WGTL with you, man?
You tell me. You were the one rambling about it 24/7.
I kind of forgot. It's been a while. What was the?
I wish I could forget.
Yeah, the number just slips my mind.
Keeper moving back in position to try and start entangling away again, but he actually missed out the army. He didn't have vision here for a second on exactly where the army was and lost track of it, and because of it now, the tree is going to be under threat. I don't think it should die, but no, every time I say that, it just ends up dying anyway. But he's not actually trying to go for it in the first place. I think that's a mistake. He was prudent. There's obviously no nature's blessing, maybe because he didn't have defend.
Oh wow, he's using a lot of entangle to get rid of that damage. Wisps are coming in now, but killed immediately. This is so much damage done. I don't think it will result in a kill.
Oh, he entangled the footman. I think he should have gone for the water elemental. I think or maybe he's planning to double detonate, but then he can't repair. That might cost him the tree. Oh my god, okay, now fine that he goes for the other water elemental, but that one has done so much damage already. The tree might go down. He's repairing last second.
Wow.
Colorful, it's almost as if he was trying to repair on 1 HP to let Chaemiko think that he could get it, but he couldn't.
You think this was calculated? I'm not too sure.
Maybe.
It cost a lot of footmen, also health and mana. Now Chaemiko is going to the marketplace. Gets the claw, exactly. With the claw early instead of the ring, he might have just gotten Todd.
Honestly, I think if he clicked on the tree immediately, he gets it. I don't understand why he delayed that so much. If you're not sure, just go for it, and then like you can readjust, right? Like if at some point you realize you cannot get it, then you stop. But I'm so surprised that he was trying to go for units in the first place.
Oh, sweet save by Colorful.
Dude, he might still get it. What the hell?
Yep. He's
Colorful.
not that close to the trees. There's no wisps anymore. Super important moment here. There will. He has the invul. He can stay. 15 seconds.
Oh my god, Colorful has no wisp nearby.
Oh, now there's fortified armor though, and no water elemental anymore. So he used all his footmen and the big consumable, and the tree's still up.
The town is under siege.
No way, it's gonna live.
Oh
It's
boy.
actually gonna live. He don't even need to repair. He can just eat some more trees, replenish like this. Another footman gets caught in the center. That keeper went from 3 to 4 by not creeping anything, but just entangling away footmen and water elementals.
And maybe this archmage? He's close. Birdie, entangle. Oh, he had the animation already. Pooh, rough game for Chaemiko now.
Oh, the footman, that's level 4. No.
No. Oh
my God.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Chaemiko is mining for a lot longer than his opponent. Colorful is on tier 2, just keeps on entangling away.
I mean, he lost a lot of gold saving that expo, that's the thing.
True.
Like, he's stuck on tier 2 because he don't have the gold to start tier 3 right now. He had to spam a whole lot of wisps that he had to remake. Actually, I think he's overmaking wisp right now.
You can
Which
always...
is a mistake. You see in the main, he has quite a few.
You can always detonate them.
Yeah, but you've already spent the gold. And instead not tech to tier 3, which he definitely needs. But great creep being started here on the lab, with the Ancient of War already being in position.
The Archmage is so obsessed with killing buildings.
Wait, he buys a shredder.
Yep.
Colorful, you have almost 500 lumber. You spam wisp. This is the last thing you need, is this shredder. You need tier 3.
It's pretty good against defend footies and helps with creeping. He's the WGL Summer Champion. He knows what he does.
Yeah, right. I don't know what he does when he has 1200 lumber with stuck on tier 2. Finally, he starts tier 3, but in the meantime, we have double Sanctum. And this might be a good game for Chaemiko because of the damage and slowing down on the expo. To this time not get any upgrades on his casters, but instead just spam units, get to 60 supply, and do an early push with the Blood Mage.
Okay, we'll see. We do have double Priest, double Sork. Gonna get these mortars in as well. And then go for this big push, question mark. 1,000 gold already. Panda, not on the way to level 3. Also, Rune Bracers. Forgettable item for now.
This tier 3 timing really worries me here for Colorful. Especially when is he gonna break up if here, really? I wonder. He has enough supply space here to go for one bear more. But yeah, as soon as he's tier 3, he should definitely start that bear master upgrade. And the question is, when is the timing gonna hit here from Chaemiko? He's not breaking upkeep just yet. He's waiting to save a little bit more gold.
Is that too greedy? He has a big gold advantage anyway. Like 2,400 roundabout. And he gives the,
Yeah, I think it's okay. to save a little more.
He gives the Panda close to level 3, gives him a heal scroll. Ooh, wow. Red spot.
Let's see the items here. Could be very important. And again, the farm line at the expo, beautiful by Chaemiko, making sure he can't get sieged there nearly as easily. Really paying attention to detail. Very reminiscent of Terran in StarCraft 2, and how you have to build depot wall to make sure Zerglings and Banelings don't run in and wreck your economy completely.
Maybe he was inspired by our StarCraft games here at DreamHack Winter. Pretty good games.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ooh, the Dryad. Ooh. There's no Staff of Preservation because the shop was delayed, because he was sniped the first time on the expo, and after that, Colorful didn't visit it. This would be a good timing to maybe staff there, grab Staff of Preservation and Orb, and then run to the Panda and give him the Staff of Preservation, because then you have the double staff being available.
Chaemiko, maybe a little too hesitant for the push, wants the high levels, but gives the high levels also to Colorful here. Still no level 3 Blood Mage. If that's his goal, it's gonna take some time. The mortar team's all taken out. Is he just losing his timing right here, Chaemiko?
Well, Chaemiko did what I mentioned. He skipped the upgrades on the casters, but that means he had no Dispel here. And it's really Colorful playing super smart, actually achieving damage through intercepting the reinforcements. He killed 2 mortars just now. It might not seem like it's the biggest thing because they can be replaced, but that delays the push because you want to make sure you have a good amount of mortars so that you can actually kill buildings very quickly when you're doing the push. Because otherwise, if you don't have sieging potential, like, you know, the elf can just delay the fight, take his sweet time. But now Tower starting near the main base of Colorful. I don't know if you can see this. I don't think so.
The tree line will be
not
gone.
reacting, but now the bear sees it.
The bear sees it. One of the 2 bears was killed very early on. That's not too great for Colorful. Was just too close to the human army. He wants level 3 so bad. It seems like he's of the opinion that without level 3 can't start this push.
I mean, level 3 is quite insane, whether you go Flame Strike 2 or Siphon 2. Usually it's almost always Flame Strike 2. There it is.
Oh man.
And maybe you wanted another heal scroll. Like, the value of having double healing scroll here when you have 80 supply is just insane, because whatever gets attacked, you pull back. And then usually the backline will take damage from the Panda, maybe the Fairy Dragons, and the frontline will take damage from the Bears and everything attacking it. So the value of, like, being able to hit that many units that took damage with the healing scroll and bringing them back to full, or at least replenishing a lot of hit points, is just super, super high.
In general, this level of play here pretty good. A rogue squad, Dryads, again catching these reinforcements every single time. Shredder down, in no time. How many mortars do we have? 2? Well,
F's in the chat for the Shredder.
F's in the chat for the Shredder. F's in the chat for Colorful's base maybe soon.
He's gonna have to take the fight way sooner than he would like here.
And he can't
Let's see if that Panda can salvage it.
produce any units at the moment. He's supply block. Big Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, but of course there's heal scrolls. Chaemiko doesn't want to take this fight. Colorful taking a lucky break.
Honestly, if you're not sure how to fight against human, which according to almost every elf in the world, they just don't know, like, and they struggle in the matchup, just pay close attention to how Colorful fights. It's honestly as close to flawless as it can be. He just runs in with the Dryads perfectly, and he's never wasting shots on the breakers with them. Instead, he's always going either for the Mortar or casters. And the execution is just really, really impressive, I think.
Yeah, by both of them. Like, they're oftentimes so flawless in what they do. Except Chaemiko in portaling, because once again he portaled himself into a trap that he built himself. And had to kill a farm, can't go up to 80 at the moment. Might be a problem. Invo potion, heal scroll even twice. But that goes for both sides. Consumables in this matchup. Oh, I think Colorful just caught him off guard here with his pants down. Perfect timing for the Fairy Dragons. Nice engagement for the Bears. There's no breaker line at all. But of course, it's also an invite to a Flame Strike.
Oh, that was sick. I'm a little bit surprised that Chaemiko didn't realize the army was coming in hot like this. Panda broke out of the first Siphon with Invuln, but now he can't break out of the next one. There is double staff available to send him out and then back in. Or Colorful if he wants to. Okay, those Dryads now taking a lot of damage. Entangle again on the Mortar to prevent him from doing much more damage. Because the Siphon was used on the Keeper, it's not on the Panda that got level 4 and extra mana, so might be time for double staff.
What?
Oh, he lets the Panda die. But there's the Yank, so he's gonna be back. Wait, did he TP too early? No way.
Oh, so close.
Oh, God.
Wow, that was perfectly timed.
That Panda would have died if he just was left behind alone.
Yep.
He would have just been slow, targeted, siphons,
Archmage.
and absolutely wrecked.
Ooh, Archmage! Man, what a battle! These fairies are quite good, eh?
Yeah. And like the problem here for Chaemiko as well is that he was close to losing his Archmage, so he kind of panicked. He double-clicked TP, which sends him back to the main base.
Yep.
There's no shop in the main base, so now he has to waste time, run all the way back to the expo, get a regen scroll, and in the meantime he's sending the Blood Mage to the center. But guess what? Colorful already went there and bought the only healing scroll that was available. So now this army of Chaemiko without a healing scroll against a Panda level 4, I mean, what is he supposed to do? Just sit home and wait until there is a new one?
Yeah, and that takes quite some time. 35 seconds here. And of course, Colorful knows the timings will be there. Has enough gold, right? Oh, should have. Colorful, he's not doing anything really spectacular. Nothing too flashy. But just step by step, he's taking control of this game. So impressive.
I think the fights are spectacular, I would say, though. Like the way he fights, like when you look at it, it's hard to appreciate all the nuances. But like the way he comes into the fights, and he doesn't just take it head on and then focus on Breath of Fire. He actually moves his army inside of Chaemiko's. And then once the Dryads are broken rank, they can just go for whatever caster, Mortar they want. He also seems to prioritize entangling the Mortars a lot to kind of protect everything else.
Chaemiko with a sweet block. Yeah, I agree, but it's not like Zeppelin bear drops, like some of the plays that you would expect from a Moon or something, or from a Law Lion, who are a little more playful, I guess. This is just rock solid about positioning most of the time, and he's damn great at that.
I think a lot of those are overrated, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Like back in the day when the Zeppelin was about and then somebody like picked up all the units at 1 HP, it's like, yeah, big freaking deal. Like, he just clicked on units to save them. Who cares? Like nowadays, a lot of the plays that I see are just much more impressive than those old school epic plays or whatever.
Still an epic play to steal a worker with the Dark Ranger ultimate and build heroes of your opponent's race.
Kind of. In a game that was long over. Well, to be honest. Chaemiko, I like what he's doing, by the way. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get 5-5. And if you know the opponent's Panda is getting close to level 5, getting Siphon level 3 here will be absolutely insane. If you think Siphon 1 and 2 is good, wait until you see Siphon 3. Like, that Panda is just... He's gonna be the 30th boy. Completely dehydrated, if you will. But great Creep Jack again. Gonna force a TP. Medallion of Courage. But he has no space. Use the info to make sure he has the space.
Oh man, banger match. Again, we're about to mine out the mains. 2,000 still left. 19-minute mark. These guys are running multiple marathon here.
Flame Strike 3. So while he's not gonna have Siphon level 3, Flame Strike 3, that's where, you know, it really starts hurting here.
Gimme.
You know, he's gonna be playing the floor is lava, but there's nothing to get up on to dodge it.
I would love to see Blizzard as well, but I think it's too expensive maybe. Invo Potion Heal Scroll should have priority upgrades as well. Flame Strike 3 is so much damage, it's not channeling. Oh, it is Blizzard actually! No way, Blizzard 3, Flame Strike 3. Todd, do you know the song of Ice and Fire?
I don't know it, do you know it?
We have to ask Remo for a little impression. But man, I know that it hurts.
Yeah, let's see actually if Colorful can do a good job again moving the bears in to dodge a lot of that. You can also cancel either Flame Strike or Blizzard. Flame Strike, you'd have to be pretty fast with Entangle. But the Panda's lagging behind. Oh my god. He TP'd too early. The Panda was in here, bro.
That was a little weird. Colorful also buying the second Shredder, which is also gone now. Third attack upgrade though. Very, very powerful.
There's no castle for some reason. Even though he's already on 80, he has spare gold. So the plan might be to just go to high upkeep with tier 2 this time for Chaemiko. But the problem is that he only has one scroll.
That's, yeah, healing against this Panda is an issue. It's not level 5 yet, still crazy. But maybe Chaemiko's answer is, well, I just do more AoE damage than you do, and then I win.
Yeah, the thing is that Panda of Colorful, like, he's gonna get level 5 almost certainly in the next fight. And also, he has 375 mana, he has a mana potion, and he has double staff. So you can get him out and then back in with full HP, full mana, ready to wreck again. So the amount of scrolls that you need against this, you know, ideally you'd like to get to up to 4 scrolls.
Math.
Blood Mage almost gets trapped, but he has to use the Invuln to get out.
Flame Strike. Boom. Okay, do we have the fight here? This is gonna be chaotic. 2 groups, lots of riflemen to deal with the Dryads, but the Mortars, they're just never protected. The fairy damage is surreal, and Chaemiko has to eject once more. He just can't get a good fight this game. And oh.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, this was ideal because he was engaging into the bears with the breakers and the Flame Strike Blizzard, but the backline got caught. And the problem is that backline, right? Because Fairy Dragons do a lot of damage to casters and everything that's around them. And if you get Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire on top of that, they just melt very, very quickly. So Chaemiko's idea here is that he should have a decent mortar count to counter the Dryads. He's going to build a lot of flying machines, I think, and try to really get rid of those Hippo and Fairy Dragons finally so that his casters are not under that huge threat anymore. He definitely should sell Claws, by the way, from the Archmage. Like, he's focused on Blizzarding anyway in the fight.
Now I've heard it all. Todd wants to sell Claws, but of course it makes a ton of sense. Colorful, expanding at the natural of Chaemiko. A little bit of a power play. I wonder, in this state, should you still go Mortars because they are jumped too heavy, or should you go Rifles? Because they won't be sniped too easy. They're not that affected by Dryads. They can gun down Dryads a lot easier, and you have the AoE of Flame Strike and Blizzard already.
Are under attack.
Yeah, you want to have a good mix of both, I think, right? Because the Rifles, they are there to kind of cover the Mortars when the Dryads dive the backline and try and kill them. Chaemiko has no gold left.
Oh, wow. Oh, the natural is gone as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to spam as many Flame Machines as he can. He has 3 and 3 queued in both workshops. And then he's going to call all Militia, and he's going to do a gigantic push, much like he did last game.
A bigger police force than Hamburg and G20.
How big is that?
It was a lot, dude. It was a lot.
When there's protests sometimes outside my apartments, there's like 12 police trucks parked. There's more police than there's people protesting. I'm like, what is going on here?
It's gonna be the same here as well. Chaemiko is gonna bring all the workers.
Is this the Matrix? Are they trying to outnumber them 2-1?
Breath of Fire doesn't hit too hard here. We do have an anti-magic against the Siphon. That's great. Can these gyros connect without being grilled?
Yeah, ideally you want to keep them back, wait until the panda use combo, and then go in. But now, actually not a bad engagement by Chaemiko. Look at how he's moving back very nicely as well. To make sure the fairy dragons are not in range of the casters. This is his shot here. This is the fight he needs to win. Flame Strike. Oh my god, he's gonna connect big time with Blizzard. Blizzard gets cancelled by a Tangle.
But the damage was so great, and I think they win the air fight here. Panda moves into a better position, but how do you deal with this front line? Needs another AoE, and then the bears. Oh my god, the Flame Strike is just way too crazy.
This is such a sick human against elf we're watching. Both of them are playing so well. Panda needs to get staffed out and then back in probably. He's completely out of mana here. And there's no more healing scroll here for Chaemiko, but he's close to Archmage level 6 and he's dealing with his army beautifully. I don't know why the Night Elf here, Colorful, is staying around. I feel like he should just pull back, especially without a mana potion on the
Double
Panda.
6!
I think he sees a lot of low HP units. Orange
Big
Bird!
orange bird at DreamHack. There we go. Magic damage doesn't help too much against the Dryads, actually, but against bears, against heroes is wonderful. And Chaemiko pushing forward. We do have mass teleport as well in case he has to eject. Someone call and wake up AKM. He's got to see this.
Colorful's trying to replenish here his army count a little bit more. He's trying to stay on top of the Phoenix because once that expires, you can kill the egg very easily, but very smartly, Chaemiko pulls that back to the high ground so that Phoenix will be back. He will rise from the ashes and be back to battle in no time.
But Chaemiko still has no income. Colorful is still on 2 bases, back at 50. Full mining, as you said. And this is now a little bit, like, it's a base race. We do have mana again. Keeper's level 6. And there's Tranquility, so this might not be the win for Chaemiko. Third Shredder
There's
for...
Tranquility.
Huh?
Completely outside of the fight. He's moving back to it now. I think Colorful should get mass Dryads here. Don't get any more bears.
Yeah.
There's barely any casters left.
Yeah.
Whatever you need dies here is irreplaceable by Chaemiko, so just get like up to 10 Dryads, target those casters, and then you've won, because then Entangle will just wear down the rest of the army.
Anti-magic. Will we see the ultimate as well? Panda quite far away. Now mass teleport. Is there an Entangle against him? Yes, there is. Can't eject. Needs to go for the town portal if he wants to get out. I think Big Orange Bird is gone. Kills the Ack immediately. Oh man, Chaemiko, are you losing this?
It might be 70 seconds left on that Orange Bird to come back. Blood Mage on the threat here is going very low. Chaemiko is not paying attention. He needs to transfer the TP.
No!
Oh, the Blood Mage is gonna go down. He sees it last second, but it actually goes down right before his eyes. And that's it for game 2. Colorful with a beautiful game yet again.
Crazy match. I thought Chaemiko had it. The double level 5, unbelievable. The AoE, dude, when the bears were running in, Flame Strike Blizzard, it took like 3 seconds and they're all half HP. It was so insane. But again, Todd, as you pointed out, the Dryads always in the right spot, always in the back of the army, making it very hard for the mortar teams to connect. And just barely he clutches it out, man. Colorful looking really good today. And Chaemiko, this might be his end. Down now, 0-2 in this best of 5.
That is, of course, 3 match points in a row. And Colorful, I feel like he got even better in decision making. This was just, it felt like he was in control most of the time and traded the way he wanted to. Pretty crazy game. This is so high level Night Elf versus human. And since this was another big and long series, we take a little bit of a break, catch a break and a breath, and then we have match points for the Night Elf. Be right back. This might turn out to be a wonderful day for the Lao Pao Esports Club. First 15 Sway taking out Focus. Now Colorful with a 2-0 win, and Fortitude later against 1-2-0. 3 of LP Club's players could end up in the semifinals here if Chaemiko is not turning this around. He needs a major swing now in this series. Autumn Leaves is next. We saw a lot of craziness in the first 2 matches. What can we expect now?
Honestly, similar to before, more of the same. Keeper probably with Harass against a human who's going to be fast expanding. Almost guaranteed that will be what's going to be chosen here strategically. Will we mine out again? Will we get the big armies again? I wouldn't be too opposed to seeing this. Importantly, on Autumn Leaves, it's a lot easier to secure the heal scrolls. I think that was the big problem on Titaners. The fact that there weren't so many heal scrolls for Chaemiko to get. Because yeah, against that Panda especially, you need the heal scrolls.
In this matchup, man, a lot comes down to consumables. This one and Undead versus Night Elf late game. Probably the most consumable heavy matchups we got. And if there's only one shop, then yeah, you gotta be fast and gotta be tricky. Chaemiko on the left-hand side facing elimination. Colorful once again, one step away from the semifinal. Needs to win one more map. It's either Shallow Grave, Autumn Leaves, or Echo Isles. Autumn Leaves, of course, 2.0. Chaemiko had this neat little push from behind the enemy's expansion. Because of that, the map got changed, as it turns out to be a little unfair. And one of the observers might take a little longer. There we go. All right. Chaemiko, second last human in the tournament, facing elimination. Colorful could end this 4-0 win streak of Chaemiko against him with a 3-0. That would be quite a statement, to be honest. Not easy to do, but Chaemiko, do you have a new idea? Or does it come down to execution? Match points, Colorful. Do we need Coach Todd in this now?
I don't know that I could teach anything to Chaemiko, and I don't know that I would have the nerve to even try. But if I had to pick one thing that maybe he should do differently is the level of aggression. I think after expanding, he should try and hit a little harder, actually commit to the fight. The technique that he was using, I'm a big fan of, you know, where you engage, you preserve your healing scrolls, and then you TP when everything's red, you regen scroll, and then you go again. But it mostly works against lesser players. We saw Colorful not losing anything and actually being the one to kill stuff of Chaemiko before that one was able to TP out. So on this map, big emphasis on the center camp as well. You have an opportunity to also play a different build to what we saw before with maybe double Rags, double Sanctum. Just a lot of units being made as soon as possible and earlier timings, you know, 60, 70 supply, constant pressure, kiting, and not letting the elf get to this 80 supply army, which, as we saw in the previous 2 games, was extremely hard for Chaemiko to counter properly. Once those fairy dragons get there, everything changed.
Yeah, he doesn't have a proper solution against them. That's true. The gyros against the level 4 or 5 Panda, they don't really stand a chance. They can't go in too deep. Needs excellent kiting. I'm a little surprised to see the Engine of War right here, right away.
Yeah, and that's something that's becoming more and more known. And when Chaemiko scouts this, I've seen him expand in the top left instead of taking the natural. So he's going to be looking for this. He's first going to check here the small green camp. Sees the keeper headed to the merchants. And I think that immediately after the camp that he's doing right now, he might go to the top left and creep that and expand immediately there. You know, I thought that it was when the Fire Nation attacked that everything changed. But it turns out that it was when the Fairy Dragons attacked.
Todd already living his future life as the Jester. Wonder how well that will work. I mean, should be a little more safe, a little far more out on the map, but that also means that there's basically only one shop then as well in the upper left-hand side. But so far, we haven't seen much aggression against the opponent's expansion, right? It was a little bit of harass. But in general, these guys seem to have a gentleman's agreement to play this 2-base, 2-base.
Yeah, there is not so much incentive to rush across the map and prevent the opponent from creeping. Like, you just want to expand, and because they're both so good defensively, it's kind of hard to achieve damage on the other side. And about the Jester costume, I don't know what you're talking about. The main human player in this tournament is about to go out 0-3 here, Leo. So that costume will not be needed this
Where's
time.
your hope? Where's your faith? Where's your motivation towards Chaemiko? Don't give up already. Reverse sweeps are a thing in WarCraft.
Yes, bro, you're right. He's gonna do it. Let's go, champ. Sell that crystal ball, first of all, to get things started. Get things rolling the right way. He's keeping it.
Information is power, Todd. And with a crystal ball, you gather information. So with a crystal ball, you gain power.
I'm pretty sure that Footman told him everything he needed to know. Is that there's a keeper and the expansion. You just know he's there anyway, regardless.
Yeah, key of the last match was that
A
Chaemiko
player's
was
forces are under attack.
focusing so much on canceling the upcoming expansion and then didn't succeed. But how will it go this time? 4 footmen against the Tree of Life who can't run away this time, who can't be repaired this time. I'd say the chances are pretty good to have this delayed.
Ooh, didn't split that well. Yeah, the cancel is gonna be there here no matter what. And that's pretty bad for Colorful. There's so many wisps around as well. He could actually target some of them. Tries to go for deny, but that gives the keeper level 3. And that's gonna be the confidence to restart that expo immediately. The water elemental can be entangled. And then even if the footmen will come, they also... Wait, oh, he goes for the... Oh, that's such a mistake. What?
Is it though?
Yeah. I mean, he took extra damage now while this is building, so that means that the hit point's not going to be super high. He scans the expo. Yeah, I don't think he's going to cancel it, Chaemiko. You don't need to use Revelation there.
Just attack it with your own archers? No, not gonna happen. Okay, so we end up on 2-base again. This time slightly faster for Chaemiko again. Mining already. Need that defend, which should be queued soon. And more footmen, of course, to creep up. Need that Archmage level 3. But Colorful seems like he's already contesting the orange spot. Pretty obvious creep route here by Chaemiko.
Oh no.
Oh.
The Archmage gets poisoned and also got hit by the mace here of the Null
That's
Overseer.
a pretty big and strong mace.
Look at the Keeper. He's on for the intercept.
A player's
What are you
forces
doing?
are under attack.
He's focusing on the...
He let the Archmage by easily. Where's that defense?
He's just focusing on the footman. He's not a man of the people.
Tackle that dude.
He doesn't have that much mana anymore, but the Moonwell seems ready. Is this enough? Footmen are doing an incredible amount of damage, and he can't entangle anymore. Oh.
Looks like a cancel and then maybe TP out from the Archmage in a second.
Yeah, you don't dare to stab. Is it 3 footmen down? Don't tell me he saves it all. Okay, 1 down, 2 saved. But the shop isn't ready, so that's a little delay.
And needs to force that. This is pretty bad for Colorful. Honestly, I'd be very surprised if he can recover from that somehow. What is he supposed to do? Restart the Expo again? The Archmage could come back and do this all over again. First, he has to heal up. And Colorful, I guess the one thing that he's got going is that he's 3.5. He gets a Naga second, so he wants to keep up the pressure.
Yeah, this feels like he can't go with his standard.
Player's forces are
The
under
resources
attack.
just don't line up. You don't want a long game with a panda, rather aggression. He knows that a lot of stuff is hurt, Archmage, Footman, but he needs to do an insane amount of damage now. He might do it.
Yeah, canceling the healing on the Archmage here would be very important as well. He's just gonna staff out to the other side. Oh my god, that's another cancel. Stop
Wow.
it. Stop it. Keeper staffing back as well. He needs to entangle the water, I think. That's the highest damage out there.
There's another one, not too far away.
Yeah, luckily entangle cooldown is very short. But that looks like a defense. So important to get that. If that got cancelled, that would have been an absolute disaster. And I think Chaemiko is gonna commit. He buys the invuln. He's going for Blood Mage second, adding the first Sanctum.
This is a lot of mana invested on Colorful for this hole. And it just turned daytime, so it's really not much left here to heal and regen. But Expo is up, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. And he has double lore on the way,
A town is
which might
under
become
siege.
single
Players'
soon. But no, the
forces are
keeper's
under
there.
attack.
Great defense, I gotta say, by Colorful. Like, yes, he got his Expo cancelled twice, but at least the third time will be the charm. And he saves his lores here. And we saw what magic he can make happen once he starts having some dryads and some bears.
Todd, it's a Mountain King.
What? He actually cancelled. He was going Blood Mage initially earlier.
Maybe he saw Naga and switched because of that.
I think that's it, yeah. If you can get Mountain King high level here, that guy sometimes can make good stuff happen. Like, you know that there's bears eventually. You can work with Clap. You're actually going to have some good stun and lockdown, which you're never going to have with the Blood Mage.
Resources seem very mismanaged on Chaemiko's side. 1,200 gold, only 20 lumber. How do you fix that?
A player's forces are under attack.
Can't force the staff.
Yeah, he only has 8 peasants on lumber from what I can see, so at least he has the first lumber upgrade. He definitely should get the second one, maybe. And also, I think he's gonna catch up a little bit because like he queued a lot of farms in advance and upgrades. But the problem is that he didn't make the workshop, which is very costly lumber. He should definitely add like a few peasants, I would say, on lumber.
Or get our beloved Shredder. But it's first time to level a bit with rifle casters. Sork once again very early. Seems to be a little bit of a Chaemiko special. Tomb of Strength, Cloak of Shadows, both not too bad. And Breakers immediately. How fast is the push this time? Archmage away from that creep. Scouting a little bit, sees the keeper, can react appropriately. And oh boy, is Colorful taking a long time for this Merc camp.
Sasquatch. He gets it. Yeah, he lost the Ancient of War as well for it.
Slow.
Oh, the keeper. If he just keeps doing it and targeting it, he can just bolt when the staff is going to be used, and there's nothing to save him. I think he's dead. He bolts because he knows he can finish it immediately after. The Naga might be next. Colorful, what are you doing?
That seems like a throw to me, everybody. Chaemiko makes this a series.
There we go, back in the saddle. Colorful with some good defensive plays, but also the expansion just much delayed, and then the keeper getting caught in the middle. I guess it's the MK that you just don't expect most of the time, right? Normally Mountain King, not the second hero we see. It's either Blood Mage or Panda nowadays, but in the right moment, MK with the Stormbolt, very good for getting crucial kills, like against heroes. And with that now, we're going to have a 2-1, and Chaemiko has a chance to tie it up and bring it to a map 5 if he wins the next one, which is the new map, Shallowgrave.
Shallowgrave, indeed. I wouldn't mind to see this series going all out with 5 maps in a row. These are just wonderful players, always coming up with some new challenges. Cool to see that Chaemiko is not running out of strategies and not stubbornly going for the same build over and over again when Colorful seems to have the answer for that. You know, harass a little bit differently, build a different second hero, and boom, off we go.
You know, it would seem very easy to look at that game and be like, what the hell was Colorful doing in the center? Like, he played so bad. Like, how did he get caught and lose everything? The thing is, there's almost never any Mountain King second in this matchup. So he wasn't even thinking of Stormbolt. We never see Mountain King second anymore. He's like completely phased out of the meta. So that was a nice little adjustment that Chaemiko went for, which allowed him to catch the keeper. And in turn, once you don't have TP here, like if you have TP, you're fine, you just TP out. But I mean, he was obviously behind in any case. But it's really cool to see that adjustment of Chaemiko just completely paying off, catching the keeper, slowing it down, and then timing that bolt perfectly. That's what also... Like, if you lose your keeper, you're pretty much lost anyway. So that's why we saw the overcommitment from the Naga and the rest of the units. Because he was trying to buy enough time for the keeper to escape, which was never going to happen anyway.
Alright then, we're still on match points for Colorful. This is Shallowgrave. This is Chaemiko's map. Concealed and Autumn Leaves, both colorful maps. So we might able to see the decider on Echo Isles, which we know is going to be a big tug of war. Always. Except if there's a tower push, but I don't think we see them anymore. Just waiting for Colorful to get ready. Looking pretty relaxed here, I gotta say. At least for now.
Who's he talking to?
I don't know. Maybe his wife, his fans. He's streaming himself. I don't know. Like not the games, obviously, but maybe his reaction. Definitely very vocal.
I don't remember doing a lot of talking during my matches or outside of my matches back when I was competing a lot, but I think if I did, you'd probably not have wanted to hear what I had to say.
It's too hot. It's too hot. It's too hot. It's probably 90% of what you said back then.
Only when it was too hot, which was often the case, to be fair.
See? All right, everybody. We got our competitors on the map. Match points for the WGL champion, but Chaemiko maybe catching some momentum now on Shadowgrave. We haven't seen too much of this matchup here either, so we don't really know where this goes. It's just uncharted waters. But maybe these guys will show us they must have at least a decent plan, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing that now. Chaemiko bottom right hand side and Colorful upper left hand side. Many people say Shallow Grave is like the newer version of Terra's Stand, or at least similar, so is it time for the Colorful Warden? Is it, Todd? No, it's not. Ah, it is! I'm not allowed. If I don't know if I am allowed to say the word, but you know, I'm very good at foreseeing things.
Are you? We're back at this again now, aren't we?
We definitely are. We got a Mountain King on Chaemiko's side. This got big Terra's Stand vibes.
Yeah, and that's because there is like a whole mind game here where a lot of humans have been creeping the mercenary camp first. And to counter that, I mean, this is designed to counter Keeper, which is the main meta, but to counter that, some elves have started opening Warden first. Because you can creep level 3, you can counter an expansion very well, you can kill mercenaries and get a lot of XP from them. And now to counter that, Chaemiko is raising the stakes. He's like, all right, you might go Warden. I know that you've been doing it on ladder. I was one of the unfortunate souls that met Colorful recently on ladder and faced his Warden, and I can tell you it was not fun. So maybe Chaemiko checked match history and he was like, okay, he likes to go Warden for this. On this, I'm gonna go Mountain King. Which, if there is a Warden, you can sometimes see a Tower Rush. I mean, we could see literally everything. Blade was doing a Mountain King first into Archmage into tier 2 push. You could see an expansion anyway, but yeah, Tower Rush is one of these options that is also very dangerous.
Yeah, there was a Blade special. Very rare to see that, but with Chaemiko, he's also very creative. Can never rule that out. You know, Colorful's Warden, I'm still not too impressed by it in comparison with Lawlight, Foggy, and even Moon these days. He oftentimes spends too much time with the Warden in the fights and not in the enemy's expansion or economy in general, and can't really get up from 3 to 5 in the necessary time. So I wonder if he fixed that. An item that definitely helps with that is a Potion of Greater Mana that he just found.
Yeah, it's the best case scenario here is that you find a greater mana like this. The question is, what's the follow-up here from both players? And if Chaemiko chooses to expand regardless, this Warden will be very dangerous, but you have to be extremely on point with the blink. If you get bolted a bunch of times here, it's going to be an absolute disaster. Chaemiko, I'm guessing, is probably going to go into Bash as well. So that Mountain King will be dangerous for the Warden, but the Warden still always will remain dangerous for the peasants.
He hasn't decided yet. So far, only Stormvolt. Can still go Clap if he wants to. Chaemiko wanted to steal the Berserker away from the mercenary camp, but it was just a tiny bit too late, or maybe it was Pink who decided in the end to get the Berserker. Expo coming up, Warden continuing to creep, got good damage, got good levels. She's becoming a threat now.
Staff of Teleportation. Bot on the other side. That allows you to head across the map, threaten, be annoying, and also be able to staff back immediately if there's trouble on your side and get the defense. I wonder where the Warden's headed after going to the marketplace. Usually you want to grab a staff here if you're colorful, but is it going to be the main or the Expo is the main question. The main doesn't have an Arcane Tower. The Expo hasn't started one yet, but should have the units that could then tank the damage of Pan of Knives. But they're out of position and the Warden about to find a lot of damage. This could be the 3-1 very quickly here. Things start falling apart for Chaemiko.
Both with the very, very same idea. They are playing this like Terrana. Stab mass murder with the next fan. And Todd, there's more, because we do have the potion of greater mana. How are you supposed to stop this? He just fans away.
Yeah, this is looking really, really bad now for Chaemiko. He has to buy boots and dust. He's not getting boots. He should have definitely sold like maybe the gauntlet or period. And remember, yeah, there's always the potential for a big dodge with the blink. You have to be really on point though. If that Stormbolt lands and the Warden dies, the game's gonna become very different all of a sudden.
Is this still salvageable at this point with so many losses? Expo isn't too much delayed, I think.
Yeah, it's tough because the lumber will be greatly affected by this. Town Pole is forced, but there is 4 Moonwells for Colorful, who's starting the first floor now. Drops the Circlet, uses all of the Moonwells. And usually when you play that style, you probably want to stay on one base because then you can just go to bears, you can creep very easily, you can then get a second hero. And you can even creep with just your units, which allows you to get level 5 quicker.
And an Engine of War, of course. Lures perfectly in time. Warden did use the big mana and the town portal, so this harass cost a bunch, but she's right in time. The region didn't start yet. Uh-oh. Is that enough? The fan is just insane. 1 kill, 2 kills. But it was also half the HP, half the mana. Good blink. Disjoints.
That's bad.
Or good.
Hammer.
As a Night Elf, feels real good.
The same case, like I'm not worthy.
Just throw bigger hammers, then they can't dodge it. Or faster hammers.
You can't. Okay, using all of the Moonwells before daytime here is always a scary thought. But I guess he does need mana in any case. Staff of Preservation actually bought. And we have a tree, so he's not gonna play this stuck on one base for a long time. I guess he sees that he has Fan of Knives level 2. He knows that if he gets harassed, he'll just kill a low unit. So he's like, oh, I can start the tree now and expand at a decent timing. I wonder how Chaemiko plays this from when he reaches tier 2, because very often when you go MK, there's big incentive to go into Blood Mage second. But then you don't have aura for your casters, and you almost certainly need casters.
Then play Dragonhawks. Mass Air.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that before sometimes. I don't know if Chaemiko would go for that necessarily. When I look at his lumber, I'm like, okay, probably don't go for that. He barely has any. Like, actually, that's been a big problem. Remember in the 15th Sway series? He has 2 peasants on lumber in main, and around 4 or 5 on the Expo. That's way too late. Like, he literally needs to queue like 6 or 7 peasants on the Expo right now.
Or get a Shredder. He's going for the lab. But this is kinda what I mean. Like, the Warden is creeping now, but not at the economy. Never. Oh, might jump. Don't tell me she's jumping into this now. Zeppelin Shredder. That was quite nice, but also stopped in her tracks.
Oh, she's jumping into this, you know, with 2 feet first in, and then a bunch of daggers.
Yeah, that was quite good, eh? Chaemiko did a good job saving stuff here. Can't be fooled by the Warden. And isn't.
Alright, Chaemiko, fix your lumber, please.
A player's
Couple
forces
peasants in the main. Where's the second hero?
He got a shredder. That will fix it.
Yeah. But if he wants to start a bunch of production facilities, might still need like 1 or 2 more peasants. But yeah, the shredder idea is obviously really, really good here. Let's see. He's not starting castle. I still don't see a second hero.
That's so unfortunate for Chaemiko if Colorful steals this entire camp. Oh man, this is so easy, so fast experience. MK, can he get it? Nope. Warden get it all. And how do you fight now? This might be the end of Chaemiko's tour.
Yeah, Alchemy's second tells me he probably wants to go for air, but Chaemiko is not macroing properly. He's not starting tier 3. He's not starting any aviaries. Okay, there it is. Starts castle tech. He knows that the expo is up by now, and in the previous games, like his timings just kind of failed. They were like super delayed, but this game he might play entirely different.
There's castle tech. But again, only footman. That's the only production building. What is he doing? Is he playing tanks?
A town is under siege.
Yeah, I don't know. This is really weird. I still expect aviaries.
Yeah. Me too. But nice cancel. That was sweet. Bash helps against the Dryads as well, so he's trading low-value units like Footman against high-value units. And this expansion, gotta be careful with that zap, though. Ay. And it's a TP. Oh no! That's combustion on the Berserker. Almost a double kill.
You might need a new zap, actually. Okay, one of the aviaries started. Maybe if the plan is to go into Griffins, I guess you don't need to rush the aviaries because you need to have castle anyway to produce Griffins. But usually if you go for aviaries here, it's triple aviary and it's for a lot of Dragonhawks to counter the Dryads. Now that the Warden is 5, that's when you want to start leveling a Panda.
A player's
While
forces
he
are
harass
under
with the
attack.
Warden, and it's going to be for Chaemiko to react appropriately. What the hell, he has an aviary in the expo as well.
This is, yeah. Is this indeed a rush to Griffins? That's quite something. Then you can, of course, counter it with Dryads and Panda alike. And then he needs a new
the
suit.
thing
This
is-
so weird.
If the elf overproduces bears and doesn't scouts, that's the scenario where Griffins would work, but obviously Colorful is supposed to realize what's happening and just spam Dryads instead.
Nice deny on that Berserker. Saved a lot of experience. No mana anymore for Stormbolt, so the Warden can do whatever she wants. But again, I wonder if it's a mistake by Colorful to not harass the economy. Like, ever in this game after the initial harass at the expansion.
I think he might do it soon. He's just shutting down the creeping very nicely right now of Chaemiko. By killing whatever units he has around, gets the Berserker. And you need to have an anti-magic potion to do the peasant harassment anyway.
True.
Maybe he calculated it as well with the Moonwells, where he knew that they was mostly empty. He's waiting for some of the juice to replenish first, then he can use that and go for the attack. Double set of healing word on the Panda. Okay.
Okay, that is a lot of wards. We do have a Blood Mage third, and we have Dragonhawks first. This confuses me even more. Like, why not earlier then if you're going for Dragonhawks? But hey, I like it. This hero combo for Chaemiko can be quite insane. Banish
Player's
Bolt.
forces are under
Love it. Siphon, always good.
The Warden probably shouldn't be there. Blood Mage third now. Joining the fight. A Shredder getting chased by a Mountain King without boots. Cue Benny Hill music.
Needs a bash, I guess. But you can wait for a bit. Okay, Warden starts. Chaemiko's saves with a Zeppelin were quite okay.
player's forces.
But he's effectively down to 1 base while the Panda's creeping the rat spot. I gotta say, Colorful did improve his Warden game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an ideal scenario here for him to go for this and for Chaemiko to steal Expo. The other two options would have been better probably, I think, with either tower rushing or playing a tier 2 push. And yeah, he's looking incredible now with that Warden. 5.4, Panda gets level 3 on the other side. He gets War Song Battle Drums. The healing ward value was insane while creeping this.
Yeah, feels like yeah, he didn't even start the camp yet. Everything is healthy except the Panda, but there's a reason for that. One's still far away from 6, but Chaemiko is only at 50 supply. No level 3 Alchemist. This is not good. Needs another staff to get that Dragonhawk out. Chaemiko needs a big play.
Yeah, he's so far away from MK5. That's such a problem. I think that Colorful is also one of the best elves in turtly games like this. I remember on Terranas, he was one of the first guys that I watched that basically said, you want to go for a lot of units and, you know, save money and then go into upkeep. Sure, I'm going to expand slower than you, but I'm also going to play little defense the whole game. I'm never going to attack, let you mine house, defend whatever wave of anything you throw at me, and then just win from there. Because I have Moonwells in the late game, because I can move my tree and just kind of outlast you. And I think he's looked very scary, that matchup, ever since he did that really well. And now that might be one of those scenarios on this map where that ends up somewhat happening too.
Yeah, I'm getting scared for Chaemiko's tournament life, that's for sure. His army is getting a little better. He broke upkeep, get a lot of scrolls now, so he invested, I don't know, 1,000 gold, maybe more, even more. Third attack upgrade as well, so you might even feel the Dragonhawk's right-click damage.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragonhawk, if they can shield those Dryads, they're gonna kill them very quickly, and that's how you can start leveling up super fast. If that MK gets 5, Alchemist gets 3, these are gonna be big power levels. The Siphon is also extremely important. You really wanna try and reduce the damage of that Panda. And Warden, he actually keeps Gueltalas for now. Maybe he's gonna transfer that over.
Yeah, he's gonna give it to the Warden, I guess. Right-click damage, appreciate it, but what do you give away for that? Circlet? No. Claws? Maybe. Not the orb, not the invul. Okay, will we have a fight here on the high ground? 73 for Colorful, 77 for Chaemiko. Stormbolt, right click, that's the Berserker gone. Are these Dragonhawks enough, Todd?
I don't know, I think they need to attack the Dryads first and foremost. I think he's just gonna TP out, maybe? No, he uses Protection Scroll. Finally, Dragonhawks starting to shift click those Dryads. They have free 1 upgrades on those Dragonhawks. But they're dying very quickly from Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and Fan of Knives combo.
Alchemist is trying to heal against that. Level 4 Mountain King. Barely any mana. That's the Stormbolt. He has 1 more bash. The Griffin is still up there, and Colorful down to 60. Same goes for Chaemiko, basically. Has to eject soon, I guess, as the Mountain King is dropping lower and lower. Level 3 for the Alchemist. Big level up. And the heal, but the heal ward, man. Can he allow the heal ward to go through like that? Oh, Stormbolt bash! Not enough damage. There is the staff out bash again. Chaemiko is staying in this for as long as he can.
Maybe Mountain King feels like should have TP'd a long time ago. Yeah, sees the Warden come back. It's gonna be the Q to completely get out, and Chaemiko lost so much. He's sent back to no upkeep. 49 supply. Cup half full. I meant to do that to save more gold. No, you didn't.
Man, if he town portals 2 seconds earlier, Colorful doesn't get the kills, and he's not ending up on level 6 on the Warden and level 5 on the Panda. That was so clutch to get these 2 last hits. Now the game is going to be real rough for Chaemiko.
Yeah, it only gets worse from here against Panda 5 or Panda 4.5. Well on his way. Sorry, Panda 5 now. Yeah. And Warden well on its way to wrecking everything thanks to the Avatar as well. That Warden has plus 22 damage. Are you joking me?
Wow, and that is without Roar. And that was without Aura. It's plus 26 now. What the?
A player's forces are under attack.
Just auto attack. Don't even use spells.
Crazy. Okay, creep check though. Mana doesn't look the greatest. Army doesn't look the greatest. Future doesn't look the brightest. You don't have to be Doctor Strange to see that the chances for Chaemiko to tie this up are not that great. Maybe he finds a way. Maybe there is this one possibility.
Chaemiko needs to become Chaemikong the Conqueror,
Players'
man.
forces are under attack.
There's one chance here. Maybe going into Mortars would have helped, but he's kind of stuck on this mass air composition. 3-2 is gonna finish. He's even bringing the Shredder over, but that MK has no HP and there's no town pole.
This feels so desperate.
I think you should just staff the MK home, get back to full hit point, and then look to try and build 80 supply, and then just take a good fight.
Just take a good fight. Yeah, good luck against Colorful, who positions himself pretty much perfectly. Just grab the red spot to take it away and get the item. Second battle drum. So we're playing double base now. Doesn't stack, of course. So many Dryads as well. 2-3 upgrades. I saw the third attack upgrade for Chaemiko. Didn't see the third defense upgrade yet. And Colorful is expanding again. That's what ultimately won him the game on Tidehunters. Might give him the semifinal.
They usually don't want to break into high upkeep up until you've saved a significant amount of gold. I would say upwards of 2,000.
A town is under siege.
Sometimes maybe 1,500 if you feel like the opponent already broke. So you might wait for that. We can pay attention to the gold of Colorful, who still hasn't queued the final upgrade here. He's also getting one more Moonwell, so he's gonna be out of 100 when that Moonwell plus the tree down there finishes.
Colorful wants to brawl already. Chaemiko also at 80. Doesn't really look like that. We do have an avatar, but not much here of Chaemiko's army. Gives corpses actually, so he can only resurrect his own spirits. Super chaotic fight, but the Warden almost has no mana anymore. More and more Dragonhawks coming in. We do have... Oh, is this Mountain King in trouble? Yes, he absolutely is. That was real close. Colorful dropping down to 6-6.
Helix actually doing work.
Yep. But is it enough? That's the question. Warden coming back in. Oh, in the middle. Was that the Alchemist dead? Yes, Chaemiko with the GG. And is out of the tournament. Colorful. Into the top 4 once again. Showing a good Warden.